Now, the latest measures imposed by the Tunisian government to contain the spread of the COVID-19 pandemic has adversely affected the country's tourism sector. Authorities say, despite the economic challenges, the imposed new regulations are necessary to save lives. However, the government decision has not gone down well with the tourism authorities. Let's have more details of that in this report.
The 4-day general lockdown imposed in Tunisia from January 14th to 17th will be followed by a targeted lockdown that lasts until January 24th. All public and private events, gatherings and intercity travel have been banned, while the curfew is still in place. Players in the tourism industry have denounced the new measures, which they say have paralyzed the industry, but the government maintains that the restrictions are necessary to safeguard lives.
We are aware of the negative repercussions of the pandemic and the lockdown on all economical sectors. Tourism and related activities were hit hard. We regret the damage caused by these restrictions, but the measures are necessary to curb the rate of infections and improve the epidemiological situation.
The Tunisian Hotel Federation has evaluated the impact of the pandemic and the lockdown, which halted mobility globally. The pandemic decimated the country's crucial tourism industry, as revenues plunged by 65% in 2020 compared to 2019 to around $746 million.
2020 was a catastrophic year for tourism. This industry employs some 400,000 direct jobs, and the hotel sector employs 80,000 people. 27,000 jobs were lost in 2 months. The unemployment rate is very high, and the purchasing power of these people is very low. The crisis caused by the tourism industry will lead to the loss of 1 million direct and indirect jobs. This pillar of economy is now facing a huge risk.
Analysts assert that more of the government's targeted support and relief measures will be needed for the industry to continue operating after the end of the pandemic.
The tourism industry will be the last sector to revive because it is the most affected. It is painful to see how tourism has been devastated by the COVID-19 pandemic. The solution is not immediate, but the government's relief effort is considerable. We need to survive and avoid bankruptcy until the end of the crisis. However, keeping the businesses open will be impossible for 70% of the industry.
Tunisia's Tourism and Handicrafts Ministry has set up a joint committee tasked with the revival of the post-COVID-19 tourist activity. This committee is in charge of drawing up an integrated recovery plan to ensure the battered sector recovers from the fallout.
According to the National Institute of Statistics, the COVID-19 crisis is having sweeping consequences on tourism jobs, hotels and travel agencies. Experts believe that economic recovery would be impossible without a mass national and international vaccination plan.
The new COVID-19 regulations imposed by the Tunisian authority is impacting on the country's tourism industry.